Hi everyone, I'm Sarah, Childhood Finds. Thank you for joining me for a weekly What Sold video. And I have some stuff to share with you, but I would say that my fourth quarter has definitely started with a whisper and not a bang. It has not been overly impressive. I am continuing to list what I can, and I'm going to ramp up listing even more this week in value, and just try to get November and December going. But it's been okay. I can't complain. It could be worse. I'm still making money, and I'm still making enough to survive off of. But I'm hoping to get some extra going. But I have some stuff to share with you. I do have sales across all three platforms. Let me give you some stats for that. So we're looking at 84 listings that I listed this week. So 84 new ones on eBay. And then my listed value of all those items was $2,479. My goal right now is I want to at least get above 2,000 every week on listed value. And then my average listing value is $29.51 per listing, and I'm very happy with that. I can't find all those really high-end, high-priced items. I just don't have the knowledge base or the ability to find them right now. So I am very happy with $29 as an average for my listings. I'm so excited with that. Right now, my store is at 2,123 listings. I would like to get about 2,500, I think, is where I would really like to cap and where I really hope I will be able to thrive off of. I don't want to get much higher because then you just get a store that has so much sitting inventory. I want to have a store that's moving all the time. So I don't want to grow massive, but we'll just have to see how it goes. And I sold 54 listings this week, and 49 were on eBay, 4 on Poshmark, and 1 on Mercari. Poshmark did change back their fee structure if you sell on Posh. They pretty much sent out a letter that, I'm just going to be totally blunt with it. They said, we were trying to help the sellers, and we realized it wasn't helping the sellers with this new fee structure, so we're reverting. What they really meant to say was, everybody realized that we were making way more money for not any more work on all of the sales. And that made people upset when they realized what we were doing. And I'm gonna be blunt, guys. Like, they increased their fees astronomically, honestly, that they were making per listing without adding like any more value to the seller or the buyer for the most part. They added a tiny bit on the seller. But yeah, I mean, my sales were fine on Poshmark over that time, so I really can't complain. They weren't any different than they were previously. So I I'm fine either way. I'm still gonna cross list. I still like the platform. It was just, this was not the best thing they've ever done. So let's go ahead and get started. And let me know how your fourth quarter is starting, guys. Are you like me and it's a with a whisper, or are you with a bang? And I will say that I do have some great haul videos that I'm going to be sharing with you in the coming weeks that I am going to say I at least ended garage sale season with a bang. So I'm very grateful for those hauls. So hopefully with that inventory, my November and December will be a little more impressive for you guys. So let's get started on some sales. So I decided, since my Mercari is always so horrible at loading, I would start with Mercari. So here is my single sale on Mercari. It's a Target Spritz Featherly Friends Fabric Bird Spruce 2020 Fall Autumn Orange. These birds, some of them can sell for really good money. A lot of them are not super valuable, but 15 bucks for this. And I paid $1 for it, $1 or $2 for it. I can't quite remember, but I'm fine with that profit. It went easily in an 864 box. Now on eBay, I sold this Tudor Rose Patience Piatnik playing cards, new sealed, made in Austria. And I believe I sent a 10% more offer off on this. So it was around 20 or so dollars, $20.50, roughly around there, that I sold this for. I picked this up at an estate sale for $1. So even playing cards can sell, guys. And I've sold used playing cards also for decent money. But anytime I can find them like this, I mean, 20 bucks is 20 bucks. These are books that I talk about all the time. These are the Robert Jordan Wheel of Time series. This is an early one. This is book 3. It's Dragon Reborn of the Wheel of Time, and it's a later reprint hardcover. It's not a first edition by any means, but I pretty much always pick up at least the first few of this book, even if it's not a first edition, because I can still sell them a lot of times for around this price. And it's $19.95 that it went for. And I believe I paid $2.99 at the Goodwill, but they always sell quickly. This has been listed for quite a while. I believe it went off on a 10% off offer, so around $13.50 it sold for. And it's just a Buttercup Powerpuff Girls plush. Anytime I see Powerpuff Girls stuff, I tend to pick it up if it's cheap, and I just paid $1 for this. You know, it didn't sell quick, but a lot of my toys are starting to move right now, so I am noticing that with fourth quarter, that toys are moving. This is a Versailles by MSI stainless Japan teaspoon lot of 5, and I picked this up quite a while ago. These have been listed, and I took a best offer of $20 for them. That's fine with me. That's $4 a spoon. And pretty much all of my flatware, if there's ever an exception, assume I paid $1 or less per lot. There will be exceptions at times, but I'll share those with you, but usually just assume that. This came from a really good buy that I got. It was a whole bunch of sealed media at one yard sale where I got over $1,000 worth of listings from one yard sale that I paid $55 for. And I didn't know some of them would be as good as they were when I was there. But I got some good ones. And this is one of them. And the really good ones are selling quick. And it's a Vera Collection 1 through 5 DVD. It's new and sealed. It's 40 DVDs, and it sold for $44.95 within a day or two. And I paid $1. And this also came from that buy, and it sold almost immediately. And it's Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman, seasons 1 through 3. I believe there was 4 seasons of this, so it wasn't a complete series, but it sold for a best offer of $65. Anytime I can get series, especially if they're sealed, and I can get more than one, I will jump on it. You know, it's great to make these little lots with them. This I've had for a little bit. I believe I got this at an estate sale a couple months ago for $2, and it's a Dr. Seuss My Room cross stitch pattern, Jim Henson. It sold for a best offer of $25 and went to Canada. This I just picked up at a thrift store for $4, which is a little more than I like to pay for these smaller frames. But I ended up taking a best offer of $19 after a day or two of listing, so it was a very quick profit, and it was easy. And it's an Ashley Manor photo picture frame enamel yellow tulips stand-up easel back. And it was a 3x3, but $19 is $19. This also came from the media buy, and it's an Agatha Christie's, I don't know, the movie collection. And it was a set of 1, 2, and 3, and it sold for $30 also very quickly. I didn't get absolutely all the sealed stuff they had at this sale. I tended to focus on ones that were obscure, ones that had more than one that I could put into lots, because there are some sealed media that you're only going to get $3 or $4 for, you know, your basic DVDs, and I just wasn't willing to pay $1 for that to get 3 or 4 for something. So I tried to stick with ones that were more obscure. And anything that isn't streaming places is going to be a premium when you sell it. There's some of these that you could sell them used, absolutely, and they would still sell for great money. This is a Range Rover Owner's Handbook Manual, and it's from 2007. I got this at a thrift store for $1, and it was listed for not super long, but I just took the $15 offer when I got it. As I have been, guys, I'm just taking a ton of offers. I don't want to be a storage unit for my items. There are some items that, yes, I hold out for higher prices, but a lot of these, I just take them. It's money in my pocket to move on to the next. This one was so surprising. I got this with a Sony Handycam, and it's a camcorder video head cleaning cassette. And actually, I was about to open this to use because I think the Handycam needs it. But then I went, you know what? I can sell the Handycam, even not completely working, and still make way more money if I just keep this sealed and sell it like this. So instead of using it, I decided to sell it instead of making my Handycam, completely functional, because $80. This sold for $80, and it just came with the handy cam. I hardly even counted into the price I paid for the. I paid $25 for the handy cam, this, and some other stuff that was inside the bag. So I was blown away when I saw this sold for $80. So I'm just going to list that handy cam and put, as is. I'm going to describe what's going on, and I will still make way more money keeping that sealed and selling it that way. So sometimes you just have to look at all of your options. This is a Shiny Bright Made in USA Christmas holiday ornaments with an indent. There were a lot of two. They were nothing special. They sold for $12.11 or something around there. And I have I don't know, 5 cents or 10 cents into them. This is a Boda Nova Gourmet dinner knife. This is a incredibly valuable set and pattern. I've showed you guys the teaspoons I've sold for $45 a piece in this, and I have forks listed for a bunch as well. And I just took a best offer of 10 because it's a dinner knife, and $10 for a single dinner knife is a win in my book. So took the $10. And this is it's Barbie Goldilocks and the Three Bears Kelly Storybook Collection doll. I got this at a yard sale with a bunch of other stuff. It was probably about 50 cents or so, and I ended up just taking a best offer of $20. It has been listed for 4 or 5 months, maybe 6 at the most. This guy's super cute. I got him at a yard sale for $1, and it's a brass 1970s Santa Claus figurine bank Christmas holiday decor. There was no key for it. It was 7 inches tall, and I just took a best offer of $21 because I only had $1 into it, and I wanted to get it gone for this holiday season. Then this is a TMNT Cowboy Dawn Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Donatello action figure. I got this in my bulk action figure lot, and it sold for full asking of $48.95. It took some months. The value in this lot were these. I had multiple people asking me to sell these separate, but I wanted to sell it all together because selling these separate means this would be super, it just wouldn't be worth that much. So selling it all together was how I got my value out of this. And this is a Yarn Kits Inc. Ripple Afghan kit. And I got this at an estate sale, I think for $1 or $2. It wasn't anything special. It sold for $22. It took a couple months. And I have one other kit just like this still left. This came out of my bulk plush buy, and these are ones that I would not pick up again because they are so big, unless they were in this perfect condition and I can price them. I priced these very competitively, and then I sent out an even bigger offer, so they sold around $14.50, and I have about $2.20 into them. So it's not a horrible profit, but they were big. They take up too much space. I would not recommend picking them up. And this is a Chris Mutt and Baby Chris Mutt dog plush from Target, especially if you can't lot them up. If you just have the one, they're just, they're going to take forever. This came out of a postcard buy I got where I sold a bunch of really valuable ones out of it. And this one's been listed for a long time, but it sold for a best offer of $15. And it's a souvenir folder postcard Overland Limited and Lake Tahoe. So it's just for Lake Tahoe, and I know that that is a popular place. It is nearby to me, and $15, and I have a penny into this, if that. Here's another one out of the media buy, guys. And a lot of these, if you find them even used, they are going to be worth it. This is Death in Paradise DVD set from BBC. This is seasons 1 through 6, and it sold for a best offer of $60. And I paid $1 for this whole little lot. Crazy. That was a crazy good buy. And that sale we went to late in the day after a really horrible community sale. This is Maurice's mid-rise denim flex bootcut jeans, and they sold for a best offer of $15. I paid, I think, $2 for these at a yard sale. They did take a long time to sell, but they were, they had the tags. I mean, I'm fine with that. Once you have them listed, I just throw them in a bag and do a tote, and it's fine if it takes 6 months to sell. This is a Kelvin Chen miniature enamel teapot tag and box floral design. And anytime you can see Kelvin Chen, he makes little trinket boxes. I've sold those before. You'll see it on the bottom. We'll see if my computer will allow me to show you. It'll be marked Kelvin Chen on the bottom. Sometimes you're not going to find the exact, so you just have to go with similar. And that's what I did with this one. It was in beautiful condition, but I ended up taking a best offer for 27 because 37 was kind of high, but I was just kind of waiting to see what I would get because I couldn't find a lot of similars in this condition. So $27 and I paid $2 for it. But these little trinket boxes are definitely worth picking up. Remember that Kelvin Chen. Here is some of the Linux ornaments that I showed in a haul video, and 2 more have sold. This one and the next one sold to the same buyer. And it's a 1989, and it's a carousel goat. Very cute ornaments. Basically look like they'd never been touched or used or out of anything. And then this one also sold, and it sold for the $27.95 as well. I will say I got a buyer that wanted wanted a chunk of these Linux carousel ornaments I had, and you know, I answered all of her questions. It was so many questions, so much of is it perfect, is it but, and then I told her, I'm like, if you want to buy 4, I'm happy to offer a bit of a discount and combined shipping. And then she's like, well, I never pay more than I would offer 12 for each because I buy these brand new for 15. And it's like, well, you didn't buy these ones brand new. So, don't let buyers argue too much with you. Stand your ground if you want to stand your ground, because that's what I did with her. I said I would not accept your offer of $12 for each one that you want because I priced these competitively. So just stand your ground if you need to stand your ground on an item. You don't always have to take the offer because I knew that this one especially, this was the cheapest on the market at $27.95. So yes, she had bought other carousel Linux ornaments for that much, I'm sure, but not the ones I had. But besides that little rant, I was just annoyed because she asked so many questions, and it was just such a high maintenance buyer that it would have been. So I answered them, and then it's those moments where you get frustrated because you think, oh, I just wasted all that time. But you never know. You got to answer the questions because it could lead to a good buyer. And this is an official Pokemon Snap N64 Player's Strategy Guide. It sold for $12.95. Anytime I can find these strategy guides or Nintendo Powers, I tend to pick them up if they're cheap. Because some of them sell for crazy money. I sold the first one for a bunch of money. This is a snake coiled slithering black enamel gold tone brooch. And this actually sold for $24.95. I listed this a long time ago. I picked it up at a yard sale for $1. Guys, this is not marked in any way. I couldn't find exactly similars. I feel like this was kind of a high price, but it did eventually sell. And, I just waited it out because, it's not like it took up a lot of space, so why not? And it did sell for 25 bucks. These I showed in a haul video, I believe, and they are the KLM Blue Delft houses, and you get them on KLM Airlines, and they are really cute. I always put empty here, and I empty out all the alcohol that's in them, but they sell very well. This one sold for $19.95, and I have about $3.50 into it. And then here's just a couple last Poshmark sales. This is a Rabbit Bunny Lucky Chinese Zodiac copper brass tone figurine. It sold for $15 on Poshmark. And this is a Prey by Lamo size 12 men's faux fur lined fuzzy slippers. These have been listed a really long time, but I have practically nothing into them, so I just left them up, and they sold for 16 bucks. I think I had them down to $12 on eBay, so that was a good sale. That's why, things do sell. Things that you don't think will sell do sell. That's why sell through is important to me, but also I don't always focus on it because I get these sales later on. This is a 2000 Thai Beanie Buddies Santa Claus 16-inch plush. This sold for $12, and these are actually super flooded on eBay and would have probably only sold for 8 or 9 there. So I'm happy that this sold on Poshmark. So guys, that's all of the sales I have to share with you today. And thank you as always for joining me. I will have those haul videos out in probably a week or two, and then work on some other stuff. I'm trying to get some ideas for research videos for the winter time now that garage sale season is basically come to a close. What is garage sale season like in your guys' neck of the woods? For here, it tends to be depending March, April, more so into the April and then through October. And last year it was like this year it was like May until they really ramped up. So it just depends here, but it's less, it's usually half the year or less is what we have here. So what is it like for you guys? Are you in a place where it's year round? Are you higher up than me and it's even shorter for you? But let me know in the comments. I'm just curious to see. And yeah, that's all I have to share with you guys. So we'll see you on the next video.